Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Globally Connected podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we are going to be shedding light on a topic that we pretty much all do every day, which is managing our life project. So, as consultants, we are extremely passionate about project management. We use project management methodologies and framework in our personal work every day, in our client work. But, we had a realization and thought is that actually project management can be used to serve your life mission and goals as well. So today we're going to dive into kind of what project management is and how project management translates into your life and how you can use it to improve your life.
Today's going to be a great episode. So thank you guys for tuning in and we look forward to it. By the way, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment and enjoy another great episode. So, Gigi, I'll let you take the wheel. So, do you want to start off by describing what project management is to those who may not know or may be informed with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, project management is exactly what it sounds like. It is how you manage a project from start to end. So, it's going to take on like how you allocate your resources, how you define the scope, how you define the costs associated, all the different aspects that kind of come into a project, putting those together. So, how about you, Jerome? How would you describe project management?
Project management is all about figuring out the best strategy and methodology to effectively complete a project from start to finish. So it's kind of along the same lines of what you just said, but I would say just more so what's the most efficient way that we could complete the project or task at hand. That's my perspective on project management.
Yeah, absolutely. So, there's different kinds of project management methodologies. There's agile, there's waterfall. So, we can dive deeper into kind of the different areas of project management that we can use. But I would say when starting any project, you have to first identify the objective and the scope. So, this is very, very similar to your life. When you're planning out your life, this is also very important to think about what is the purpose, for example, in this current season of my life, and what is the scope. So, scope is very, very important because that is, I would say, one of the most critical things to the success of a project is maintaining the scope. So, what is it that we want to focus on? And then, what are the things that you don't want to focus on? What are some things that maybe in this chapter of your life you're no longer entertaining? Those are out of scope. So how can you avoid those things and focus on what is? So that's where I'll start kind of with project management and life is first you need to define your objective and your scope, what you're doing and why are you doing it?
That's a good point, which leads to actually me providing or wanting to provide a real life example of
Yeah.
season of where I'm at in my life and how it's a project and how I'm going to be efficient with achieving those goals. So the season that I'm currently in my life is rebranding myself, getting to know myself more, getting my joy back, and just listening. And so that's the project that I'm managing at the moment. And so for me to officially manage this project from beginning until end, I have to start from the ground of okay, so the goal is to rebrand myself, right? So that's rebrand myself into the person that I'm aspiring to become. So that's more of a businessman, that's more of an artist. So I have to be efficient with the strategies that I'm looking to actually achieve those goals. So for example, businessman, consistency. I have to be consistent 7 days a week, in particular time frames of the day. So I actually started this practice last week. So for through Monday through Friday, I do something called deep work, which I got from Ray Dalio, who's the owner, a founder of Principles, where I silence all notifications, emails, messages, etc. And I just go into doing deep work of basically achieving, for example, getting a client for the day or just doing a task for a globally connected group. So that's something. And if we want to talk about film, when I'm doing deep work, okay, I write for 1 hour. So as far as like rebranding myself, that's something I've done. And as far as like getting my joy back, is doing things such as grounding. I did that recently. That's one way to get my joy back. And then just being positive and just smiling more, get my smile back. So these are just real life examples based on where I'm at in my season of my life and how I'm managing that project to ultimately achieve the goal of whatever that may be. So
That's so true. The deep work sessions are awesome. I came across those also, and I feel like, you can sit and work for 5 hours, but if you're getting distracted, it's not the same as even 1 to 2 hours of zero distractions, but just locking in and focusing. Because,
yeah.
yeah, the attention goes like where your kind of mind goes. So, um, yeah, that's really awesome. So when you have a project, first of all, you need to break down your project, right? Like break it down into different milestones, into timelines, etc.
Yeah.
And then managing your stakeholders. So, who is involved in your life project and who's involved in this particular chapter? So, you can actually sit down and kind of map out like who is adding value to your life at this stage to this project versus who is taking away from it, and how can you communicate and manage expectations clearly with the people that are in your life at the moment. Stakeholders can be friends, they can be family, they can be mentors, they could be colleagues, and then just mapping out anything that's taking away energy, whether it's a person, place, or thing, and setting limits and boundaries within that. And then that also goes with another project management framework, which is quality control. This
Mm.
is really important in life. You have to decide what your standards are for how you're going to live, how you're going to work, etc.
Mm.
So, quality assurance is important, managing your resources, your expectations with your stakeholders, etc. So, what about you, Jerome? What would you say kind of are some project management frameworks that you're actively using in your life project at the moment?
Time is one of them for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm learning. This saying really is cliche, but the older you get, you really realize that life really is short. So I
Yeah.
am getting very, I'm using time as like a very essential component of my day-to-day life. And it's the most valuable currency that I have in my life. So I would say that is one. And then I would say stakeholders. Those are the two biggest ones because the higher you go in life, it ain't even gotta be like related to like a money amount, but just as you continue to grow and evolve within yourself as a person, you have to be very cognizant of the stakeholders, friends, families, whatever, the support alignment that you get in life. And alignment is very important. So I would say for me, where I'm at with this project that I'm in the process of managing to get to where I want to be at, stakeholders and time. Those
Yeah.
two most important ones, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's finished.
Definitely. And to Jerome's point of like stakeholders and time management, time is probably the greatest resource that we have. It is the most valuable currency. It's one that we don't get back to. You cannot buy more time. Once time is gone, it's gone. So it's very important to audit your time like you would outline a project budget when you're managing a project. That's kind of what we have to do with our time. So we got to ask ourselves some questions. And I've noted down a few questions we can ask. It's where does your time go? So we have to take a look and genuinely analyze where is my time going? And where is my energy leaking? So, in the things that my time is going towards, what are some things that are maybe dispensing my energy that I could get back to actually invest in something else? Like, what are some things that I can drop and some things I could add on? For example, that hour of doom scrolling on the phone at night, that doesn't add onto my life. So, I'm trying to be intentional to remove that so that I have that time back to actually rest and then maybe get an hour earlier in the morning. Are you investing your resources where they truly matter? So, is your time, your money, your efforts actually going into things that really matter? Like like Jerome said, time is so valuable. So a week can pass by quickly, a month can pass by quickly. actually looking back and analyzing like what happened during this month, where did the time go? Was it spent valuably? Did it add on to me reaching my goals or did it take away from it? And then, very important part of project management in life is reflection and kind of looking at how to make adjustments for the next sprint, for the next part of the project. So, looking at what worked, what didn't work, and how to move forward. So I'd say from my end, that's a high level summary of how you can put your life into a project and things to look into. Of course, there are millions of different methodologies you can use and frameworks and things that can help you out. This is just some high level stuff. But life really is the most important project that you will ever manage. So make sure to intentionally manage it.
Why do you think people should manage their life from that perspective of a project manager?
It's a personal opinion, but I think it's just so that there's a level of organization and a bit of feeling of control over the things that are happening. Obviously, none of us are in complete control of life whatsoever. Life is subject to surprises. Our fate is intertwined with the fate of others,
Yeah.
but there are things that are in our control, and we do have free will. So, being able to manage certain aspects of your life through project planning, I think helps you move along further.
It's a combination of, yeah, manage your life via the aspect of a project because it keeps you, as you mentioned, organized. It can help you be efficient if you that's something that's not a strong suit already within your life. And also it could have you apply something that has worked in the professional world, since the beginning of time, and you could apply that in your life, and it could help you get to where you need to be, both on the personal level and a professional level. But it also could help you learn about yourself and other people around you. I think that's actually the biggest aspect of
Mhm.
you utilizing this tool in your life. It could actually help you learn more about other people around you, to be honest. So I
Yeah.
think that's the benefits of actually applying or correlating project management, the tool, with your actual life. I will say with a tool like project management, because obviously it's used mostly in professional worlds. Don't beat yourself up about this if you don't get it right initially. These things takes time to implement, but just as long as you're applying whatever aspect of project management tool that works for you, that's all that matters. Don't set expectations that are unrealistic for yourself because you won't be successful at this. And also just understand that time really is the most valuable currency. So that's my biggest takeaways that I have for you guys in the audience, and the viewers. How about you, Gigi?
Yeah, no, I love that. I think, you hit on everything. I would just add, get a journal and use it. I think journaling is great and it is a good way to kind of manage your life project and keep in check with your feelings, your actions, your tasks. So utilize your resources, including journals.
We thank you for joining us for an episode of the Globally Connected podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, comment, and thank you again. We appreciate you all.